It was a fresh summer afternoon. The air was sticky, and the sky was flushed with colors of violet and flecks of hazy orange tinge. Alright, it's Ava's turn to be the seeker. You have to count to 40. Don't start yet, my cousin Isaac chirped. I rolled my eyes while smoothing out my short brown hair. Do we really have to go again? I'm getting bored of this game. Come on, Ava, you can't just bail because it's your turn. That's cheating, my younger cousin Finn protested. Fine, but we're doing it outside this time to make it less anticlimactic. What does anticlimactic mean? Finn asked. Don't worry about that. Let's go hide. Isaac looked up at me with his piercing blue eyes while taking Finn's hand in his. Isaac and Finn were brothers visiting from overseas. Isaac and I were both 16, while Finn was 9. They came to America for Finn's treatment. He'd been suffering from night terrors for a while now, and wasn't able to connect with the teacher at school, and the doctors in Australia had no idea how to treat him. The medicine that he was put on had too many unhealthy side effects that he was too young to deal with, and his therapist couldn't earn his trust. To make their stay more exciting, my family decided to rent out a cabin for a few days for us kids to spend some quality time together. For the last hour, all Finns wanted to do was play hide and seek. I groaned and sucked in a sharp breath of the humid summer air, and then slid my hands over my eyes. I heard Isaac call for me to start counting and slowly began. 40, ready or not, here I come. I pulled my hands away immediately and shielded my eyes from the bright sun that decided to poke out between the clouds. I stumbled over broken twigs towards the tall oak trees before me and peered behind them. Nothing. I groaned even louder. Then I heard a snap. I locked my head quickly to the left and squinted through the trees. I couldn't see anyone, but the sound definitely came from that way. I rested my hand on the bark of the oak tree and stepped over a bush before slipping into a light jog, while I made my way further through the thick greenery. There, in the middle of the strong oak, was a 2-story wooden cabin. The windows were shattered and glass laid on the front porch where a tattered rocking chair sat. It was still swinging back and forth at a slow pace. I raised my eyebrow. You guys have to come out. I give up, I yelled towards the house, my eyes looking from the porch to the top windows. Something moved. Just barely, but I caught it. Ugh, seriously, Isaac, it's getting dark, I screamed out once again. No one was budging. I looked up at the now darkening sky. The sun was settling, and the unsettling sound of the wind through the hollow trees and crickets was beginning. I ground my teeth and frowned hard before stepping over the dense weeds towards the rundown cabin. The door was already missing, and the only source of light that came into the house was from the purple hues of the sky piling through the windows and down into the dusty, cobweb-filled walls. My eyes adjusted to the murky wooden floors, and I stood listening for a few seconds. Not only was it immature of Isaac for him bringing Finn here, but it was too dirty to hide in. A loud thump from upstairs made me jolt suddenly. I looked up at the ceiling and watched the dust waft down onto my head. Around the corner of what I presumed to be the living room was an open kitchen and stairs that led to the second story. The kitchen was extensively grimy, but somehow still looked like it was being used. I could tell because there seemed to be a small pool of water laying on the floor just before the sink. Isaac was probably just trying to mess with me. My anger grew as I went up the stairs, but this unnatural feeling came over me. I tried to brush it off as I came closer and closer to the top of the stairs, but my gut began to ache. I could feel my heart banging against my chest like it was trying to claw itself out, but still, I climbed the stairs. My sneaker finally reached the last step as I sucked in a quick, moist breath of air. My eyes widened. A sharp pain shot through my body. I almost collapsed looking down at him. Isaac laid there, still on the floor. A metal axe, wedged into the right side of his head while deep red liquid flooded the wooden floor around his body. His eyes were still open, but the blue in them looked dull and lifeless. I stood there frozen, unable to move, unable to scream. My stomach churned and vomit burnt in the back of my throat, making my eyes water. But something awakened my sense again. The sound of someone flinging their body up the stairs, climbing them like some sort of hungry animal in the night. My worried eyes scanned the room as the sound edged closer and finally fixating themselves on a tattered brown couch. Yes, I can hide behind that. I stepped forward too quickly. My right foot oozed into the dark pool of blood, making me wince. Shit. Whatever was ascending up the stairs was too close for me to make it across the room to the couch in time. I looked to my left, a dark closet, just a crack open. I hopped over the closet, avoiding Isaac's body as I leaped over him, cringing while my eyes grew watery once again. I slipped into the closet and drew to the back of it, my head brushing against clothes that smelt like rotting meat and mothballs. I could still see out the closet through the crack, but the room was so dimly lit that I could only see the outline of Isaac's body on the floor. Only shards of light remaining from the outside gave the room a sullen glow. The sun was officially down. I heard shuffling around the room and then a low growl. I watched as whatever was in the room snatched Isaac's body and dragged it across the woods. This was followed by a revolting crunch that sounded like a bone had just been snapped in half. I realized my breathing had become more prominent. My eyes widened as I slapped my hand over my mouth. Please, please, I hope it didn't hear me. My heart hurt, my vision seemed blurry, and my knees knocked together clumsily as I trembled in the dark, musty closet. I heard it. I heard Finn. I heard his loud, malicious giggle. It sounded different this time, though. It was a sputtering laugh that sounded in between coughs and crunches. Then, without warning, my legs gave way. I collapsed onto the floor of the closet. My heart beat out of control. I could feel the blood rushing to my ears, and I thought I would die right there on the spot. I wished I would have. The laughing stopped. I heard a slow humming as I watched Finn take steady, abnormal steps across the room. He paused in front of the crack, and my eyes were now burning with tears while my cheeks were hot and sticky. The figure spun around, pointing one disfigured finger towards the closet door as he stared with black eyes. "You found us,"